Shining bright lotus.
Dignity and disaster of the ego is a fascinating question and challenge of Zen, how Mondo Zen approaches the ego, and also as well as how we learn how to honor and include and transcend as we create a more cosmopolitan vision of the insight of Shakyamuni Buddha. Often, traditional Zen approaches see the ego, which is from a traditional Buddhist perspective, an entirely constructed thing that has no concrete reality to it. So before you even get to Mahayana, in the Theravada perspective, we realize that the ego, the self, is empty of any form. It's an illusion. So the practice is to transcend the self. And what gets in the way that is the habitual conditioned self. And Junko talks a lot about conditioning because he's interested in us not only recognizing our more basic conditioning, having an ego, me, sense of self, but also the subtler emotional notion of self and how it's responding as a sense organ to the stimulus and the things that are happening around us. I really see that the opportunity here is to recognize that rather than seeing it as the ego as something that is a disaster and that needs to be transcended, we really need to include it because emptiness is exactly form. So what arises in our particular worldview and in our reality is no different than all the emptiness of everything. It's like the breeze arising within the. So rather than it just being this practice of insight that whatever is arising is empty, we also need to have the image of that what is arising is a manifestation of emptiness. Oh, it's a wonderful title, The Dignity and Disaster of the Ego, because rather than just see the ego as a disaster, as an illusion, as a thing that conditionally gets us out of being able to be present to the ever living divine mystery, this pure awareness. There is also the dignity of this uniqueness, the, the insight of recognizing that each one of us has a responsibility to be uniquely our compassionate self, to show up for one another with dignity, with honor, with respect, with compassion. And so therefore that's what our ego is also good for. So we kind of need both. So we're not getting rid of anything, we're including it because emptiness is exactly form.
Shining bright lotus.